So this is actually a retake of a video post I did yesterday. The audio wasn't really that good on the one from yesterday, hence the redo. And the reason I did there was two reasons why I did the post. One is I just hadn't posted for a while and didn't want to let things get too stale. And the other one is I ran across something that brought me back to the topic of local search, something that should be near and dear to all of us by now. Here's the deal. I've got a message, I think, for both independent insurance agents as well as independent insurance agency companies that distribute through the independent agency system. I took a look at some direct writers, and one of the things, this is the message for the carriers, the direct writers tend to do, the captive agency companies, State Farm, and if you can see that, they provide quite a bit of information through their agency Locator about their agents, right? Here's one from Allstate, and you can see the pictures and the address, some links, some other information, bio information. I didn't take a close look at State Farm and Allstate, but I did look at Nationwide's. Nationwide's information is visible to the search engines, so it's not hidden behind anything, and it'll come up in search. That helps your agents out because that's one way they get found through search, but also that's one of the things that local search looks at, these citations. Where does the agency name and address and that sort of thing show up? So at a minimum, the insurance agency carriers could put that locator information out where the search bots will see it, provide a citation for their agents, and then by dint of their agents doing nothing, they'll show up a little bit more often in search. And the other thing they could do is actually provide that higher level of information, the maps, the photos, the other information. The only independent insurance agency company that I know of that's doing this for sure is Progressive. So there's kind of their stuff there, right? Now, once I started looking at this, it made me want to go a little bit deeper, and we've talked about this in other posts here. We have quite a bit of data that suggests 75 to 80% of independent insurance agents have not claimed their local listing with anybody, with Bing, with Yahoo, with Google Places. And so I started to look at the captive agencies. And by the way, we did a series of webinars a short while ago, a few weeks ago, with Progressive. They have similar data, a lot more numbers than we have, but they're finding the same results. 75 to 80% of the agents haven't claimed. And today, of course, the phone book's gone. This is how people find you. They go to Google, and increasingly, 30–40% more. The numbers of search that are going through local search are huge. So if you're not claiming, you're probably not showing up. Or if you're showing up, you're not showing up as often as you could. Or if you're showing up, you're not showing up the way you want to be represented. Anyway, so I got wondering, does that number kind of hold true for agents from Allstate, State Farm, Nationwide? And it turns out it doesn't. And so what this suggests is that the window of opportunity that I thought was really wide open for independent agents is starting to close. So this is a screen print from getlisted.org, if you can see that, for a nationwide agent. And it may be hard to see, but up here in the top there's two little green check boxes. It tells me this agency has claimed its listing with Google and Yelp. The three red X's tell me that they've not claimed it with these other three services, Bing, Yahoo, and Best of the Web. I looked at 7 or 8. This is not scientific, I admit, but again, I've talked to some other folks who see similar data, and looked at 7 or 8 agencies. Every single one of them, except this one, had claimed 3 or 4 of their listings. These are all free listings. This was the low one on the totem pole, only claiming 2. So it would seem like there's this yin and yang going on. Independent agencies, 75 or 80% haven't claimed. I think I'm safe in saying at least 75 or 80% of the direct carrier agents have claimed. And it may be something more like, based on my small data sample, it may be something more like 100%. I did look a little bit more closely at a couple of the listings. They're not as well optimized as they could be. That's the good news for you independent agents. So there is still a window of opportunity. But the first thing you have to do, claim your listing. Second thing you have to do is optimize it. Provide some information that's interesting to people who might want to do business with you. Provide some interesting information for Google, some keywords they can sort of hang their search on. Okay, that's it for my post today. Get out there and get claiming, get optimizing, get some business.